السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Math grade 8. We are in model 8, lesson 3. Today we have rotations. Today we want to learn rotations. So in this lesson, we want to use coordinate notation to find the coordinates of a figure that has been rotated about the origin, as well as describe the angle of rotation using the given graph and coordinates of the figure. The first idea in this lesson, we want to learn rotation about a vertex. What's the meaning of a rotation? What the meaning of a rotation? Is a transformation in which a figure is rotated or turned about a fixed point. What's the meaning of the center of rotation? Is a fixed point. A rotation does not change the size or shape of the figure. So the pre-image and image are congruent. Always in rotation, the pre-image and image are congruent. Rotations and direction. The first is 90 to the right, clockwise, to the right, and 270 degree. Counterclockwise means from right to the left. Counterclockwise, the opposite of clockwise. From right to the left are two examples of the possible description of rotation. The animation shows two different rotation of triangle ABC about vertex A. Now, in a 90 degree, this is the
أستاذ صوتك يعلق.
rotation about vertex A. This is the center of the rotation A. Each
مستر صوتك يعلق.
clockwise about the same vertex A. Okay. So as you see here, ABC, this is the pre-image. This is the pre-image. This is the center. Means from left to the right, from left to the right. So this side AB, use the protractor angle 90 degree. You will get, this is the angle 90 degree, you will get the line A prime, B prime. A.
أستاذ صوتك يعلق. أستاذ ما نسمعك، صوتك شكله يعلق.
زايد إلا بدون كلام، ركز معه بدون كلام. بعدين حكينا نحن اللي بده يجي على المدرسة يجيب لابتوبه معه، ما هيك؟ طيب هلا in 180 counterclockwise rotation about vertex A, each point and line segment are rotated that same number of degrees. Counterclockwise about the same vertex A. So as we see here, counterclockwise means from right to the left. This is the original triangle. This is the center of the rotation. We can use the protractor to determine the angle 180. You will get here A prime, B prime in the same straight line of AB. You can do the same idea for AC. You will get A prime, C prime. And you can do the same idea for BC. You will get C prime, P prime. Then you can match between them. You will get here the image. As you see, the image congruent with the pre-image. So this is the meaning of the rotation. The animation also shows the following rotation of triangle ABC. In a 270-degree clockwise rotation about vertex A, each point and line segment are rotated the same number of degrees clockwise about the same vertex A. As you see here, we have the image ABC, and this is the center of the rotation. This is the side AB, and we want to rotate AB about the center 270 degree. You will get A prime, B prime. You can do the same idea for AC. You will get A prime, C prime. And you can do the same idea for CB. You will get B prime, C prime. So this is the image.
Mister, how do we measure the 217 angle?
And how to measure 270, 90 plus 90 will be 180. Then 180 plus 90 will be 270. So it means if you have this is 90, and if you add 90, you will get 180. Now here you have 180. If you add 90, the angle will be where? Will be here. If you add here 90, so now the angle from here to here will be 270. Will be 270 degrees. So you can use the protractor to measure the angle here to here 180. Then you can switch the protractor and take angle 90 degree. You will get the total 270. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Mister.
Okay, welcome. Rotate figures about a vertex. The triangle LMN with the vertices L, M, N represents a disk in Jackson's bedroom. He wants to rotate the disk counterclockwise 180 about the vertex L. So the center will be L, the angle will be 180, and the direction counterclockwise means from right to the left. So graph the figure and its image, write the coordinates of the triangle L prime, M prime, N prime. So part A, graph the figure and its image. Step 1, graph the original triangle. Step 2, graph the rotate image. Use a protractor to measure an angle of 180 with M as 1 point on the ring, and L as the vertex. Mark off a point the same length as ML. Label this point M prime as shown. Step 3, repeat step 2 for point N, since L is the point at which triangle LMN is rotated, L prime will be in the same position as L. So as you see, we have here, this is the pre-image, this is triangle LMN, and the center of the rotation will be L, and we want to do this rotation using the angle 180 and counterclockwise, means from right to the left. So we can take here MN, use the protractor, determine the angle 180, you will get L prime M prime. You can use the same idea in LM, you will get L prime N prime, and the same idea for MN, you will get N prime N prime. So you will get L prime M prime M prime. This is the image of the LMN using the rotation about L, about the center L, and the angle 180 and the direction counterclockwise.
Mr.
Yes?
Mr. Why don't we make this one the 180 a little bit to the right? Like, I mean, the edge of LM, it will be under the edge of L and N up.
Wallahi, I don't understand your question. Can you repeat and raise your voice, please?
Okay. Mr. You said that it's 180. Why don't we make it 240?
Because the question said here 180. The question determined for us the measure of the angle. So if the question said 180, must to use this angle. So the question determined for you or for us the angle and the center and the direction. Okay, Mila?
Okay, Mr.
So write the coordinates of the image. Use the graph to write the coordinates of the vertices of the image. And as you see here from the graph, we can write the point L prime. As you see, 5 here in X and 4 in Y. So we can write L prime 5, 4. Also M 5, 1. Also N prime will be 2, 1.
Mr. Can you go up a little bit?
Here?
Yes, okay, Mr.
Okay. Do you have any question here, Milan?
No, Mr. I'm just seeing the L position.
In this example, we have rectangle ABCD with the vertices A, B, C, and D. Represent the bed in Jackson room, graph the figure and its image after clockwise rotation of 90 degree. As you see here, we have the angle 90 degree above the vertex. This is the center above the vertex C. Then write the coordinate of the rectangle A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime. And as you see here, we have the direction clockwise, means from left to the right. So part A, graph the figure and its image after a clockwise rotation of 90 degree about the vertex C. So as you see here, we have the pre-image. We have this rectangle A, B, C, D. We want to do rotation for this figure. But where is the center? The center C. So this is the center. And clockwise means from left to the right. Use the protractor, determine the angle 90 degree. This is the angle 90 degree. So this side, PC, when you do rotation, will be where? Will be here. Will be C prime, P prime. Will be C prime, P prime. You can do the same idea for AD. You will get A prime, P prime. And for PA, you will get P prime, A prime. And for DC, you will get P prime, C prime. Then from this graph, you can write the coordinate of each point. So A prime, as you see here, 1, 6, and B prime will be -2 here, and 6, and C prime will be -2, 1, and we have D prime 1, 1. Now we want to learn rotation about the origin. Now the center of the rotation now will be what? The origin. This is the origin here, means 0, 0. This is the origin, 0, 0. The coordinates of an image rotate clockwise about the origin. Can be determined using coordinate notation when a figure is rotated about the origin. The center of the rotation will be 0, 0 or S0, 0. Each point of the original figure and its image are the same distance from the origin. A rotations pre-image and image are congruent. Here we have 3 rules. If we have the angle 90 degree and the direction clockwise, rotation and about the center will be the origin. So in this case, the x coordinate of the image is the same as the y coordinate of the pre-image. The y coordinate of the image is the opposite of the x coordinate of the pre-image. In this case, if you have the point xy, the rotation or the rotating about the center origin using the 90 degree clockwise, as you see, x and y, take the y and put it in the place of the x, and take it the opposite of x and put it in the place of the y. So to find the rotation of any point, if you have the angle 90 degree and the direction clockwise, and you have the center, the origin, you can do this rule, Ya Hamad. You can do this rule. XY will be what? Take the y, put it in the x place, and take the opposite x, put it where? In the y place. If you have the angle 180, clockwise rotation about the origin, the x and y coordinates of the image are opposite of the x and y coordinates of the pre-image. And when you have the angle 180 and you have clockwise and you have the center of the origin, you can use this rule. Switch the value of x, or take the opposite of value of x, and take the opposite of the value of y. So xy will be negative x, negative y. Xy will be negative x, negative y. And if you have 270 degree clockwise rotation about the origin, in this case, the coordinate of the image is the opposite of the y coordinate of the pre-image. The y coordinate of the image is the same as the x coordinate of the pre-image. So when you have 270 and you have clockwise and you have the center origin, you can use this rule. XY take the opposite of y, put it in the x place, and take x, put it in the y place. So the three rules here are very important. I want you from all to keep it very well, to know how to do the rotation. Rotate using coordinates. Triangle DEF has a vertices D, E, F. The triangle is rotated 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. Write the coordinate notation for a clockwise rotation of 90 degrees about the origin. Then write the coordinate of the triangle D prime, E prime, F prime. So part A, write the coordinate notation for a clockwise rotation of 90 degrees about the origin. So when rotating about 90 degrees about the origin, the x coordinate of the image is the same as the y coordinate of the free image. The y coordinate of the image is it opposite of the x coordinate of the free image. So we can use this rule when we have 90 degrees. So the coordinate of the notation will be, as you see, take the y, put it in the x place, and take the opposite of x, put it where? In the y place. So write the coordinate of the triangle D prime, E prime, F prime using this rule. حمد وزايد آخر إنذار. آخر إنذار. إذا بسمع صوت اثنيناتكم برا الصوت. Now, as you see, we have D, -4, 4. So, put the same y in the place of the x. The y here will be 4. Put it where? In the x place. Then take the opposite of x. The opposite of -4 will be +4. So will be here 4, 4.
أستاذ
Yes.
ليش مش نيجاتيف في الإكس؟ مكتوب هني واي عقب نيجاتيف إكس.
انا عم طبق الرول لانه لاحظ هلا الواي بدي احركها من مكان الواي احطها بمكان الاكس. اذا الواي انا نقلتها لوين؟ للاكس. اذا الواي ما بصير عليها اي تغيير. الواي بدي انقلها بس من مكانها، من مكان الواي احطها بمكان الاكس. التغيير على مين عم يصير؟ على الاكس. الاكس باخذ معاكسه وبحطه وين؟ بحطه بمكان الواي. الاكس باخذ معاكسه بحطه في مكان الواي. لاحظ الان انت مين الواي هون؟ هلا عندك هون الاكس وهون الواي. الواي ما بيجري عليها اي تغيير، فقط بنغيرها، بنغير مكانها من مكان الواي بحطها وين؟ بحطها مكان الاكس. اذا صارت هون. الاكس شو بساوي فيها؟ باخذ المعاكس لها الاوبوزيت. اكس شو الاوبوزيت للماينس 4؟ صارت 4. رح تيجي وين؟ رح تيجي في مكان الاكس. لاحظ هون -1 2 الواي ما بتتغير، فقط بتغير مكانها. ال2 رح نحطها في الاكس تصير 2. الاكس باخذ معاكسها. شو معاكس ال-1 1 نحطها وين؟ نضعها في الواي. تمام سلطان؟
تمام.
-3, what if the opposite of -3 will be 3? Put it in the y place and keep the y and put it where? In the x place. This is the rotating using the angle 90 degree and clockwise about the center 0 0 or about the origin. M and B Q has coordinates M and N and V and the Q, and the quadrilateral is rotated 180 clockwise about the origin. write the coordinate notation of a clockwise rotation of 180 degree about the origin. Then write the coordinates of the quadrilateral M prime, B prime, Q prime. So the part A, write the coordinate notation for a clockwise rotation of 180 about the origin. So as you see, we have 180. When you have 180 clockwise and the center, the origin, we can use this rule. X, Y, take the opposite of X and take the opposite of Y. X will be negative X and Y will be what? Will be negative 1. So I can use this rule when the angle 180. So M. What is the opposite of 2? Negative 2. And opposite of 5? Negative 5. So M prime will be negative 2, negative 1. N 6, 4. What is N prime? Take the opposite of 6 and the opposite of 1. Opposite of 6 here, negative 6. Opposite of 4 will be negative 4. B. What is the B prime? What is the opposite of 6? Negative 6. What is the opposite of 1? Negative 1. So negative 6, negative. Q. So Q prime. What is the opposite of 2? Negative 2. What is the opposite of 1 will be? Negative 1. So I use this rule when I have 180. Description rotation. Use coordinate notation to describe the rotation, then determine the angle of the rotation. Assume the rotation is clockwise about the origin. And here, as you see, we have the image, the pre-image, and the image. And here we have rotation. And we want to describe this rotation. What is the center? What is the direction? What is the angle? So part A, use a coordinate notation to describe the rotation. Compare the coordinate of the pre-image and the image. In the first step, write the coordinate of the image and write the coordinate of the pre-image. So as you see here, A, negative 6, negative 2. A prime will be 6 and 2. Also, you can use the same idea to write B and B prime and C and C prime. Then compare between A and A prime. As you see here, negative 6 here will be 6. Here, negative 2 here will be 2. So means you use this rule. When you have X, Y, you will get negative X.
So it would be 180 because the rule you choose the opposite.
So this rule means you use the angle 180 about the center 0, 0, the origin, clockwise. So the coordinates of the pre-image are the opposite of the coordinates of the image. So the coordinate notation is X, Y will be negative X, negative Y. And the second part, determine the angle of rotation. The coordinate notation for a 180 clockwise rotation about the origin is X, Y will be negative X, negative Y. So the angle of the rotation will be what? Will be 180. Here the same idea. Use the coordinate notation to describe the rotation, then determine the angle of rotation. Assume of the rotation is a clockwise about the origin. You can find the A as you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here 2. And find A prime as you see here 2. And here -1, -2, -3, -4, -3. And compare between A and A prime. As you see, take the opposite of X, put it in the Y place, and keep Y and put it in the X place. What is the type of this rotation? The type will be used this rule. If you have x, y, take the opposite of x, put it in y place, and keep the y, the same y, and put it in x place, means you have 90 degree. The angle will be what? Will be 90 degree. So this is our lesson for today. Who has any question about this ideas?
No questions.
Mr. It's clear.
Great.
Yes, clear.
مع السلامة أستاذ.
I will send to you, inshallah, the homework. I want from all to work through this homework. It's important. And send me today, please. Send me today the teams. And tomorrow, inshallah, I will check with you the homework. So this is our video for today. Thank you for your listening. Have a nice day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.